Now, we will have a 1 minute comment on what we just talked about, and we'll start with Ken.
For me, being a district trustee would be relational. And yesterday at the Worship Arts, it was the joy of a youth, a young teen leader coming to worship and participating with adults. There were not enough, but to be there with someone I know, so she can know that she wasn't alone. Too often we do not reach out to people that are of a different generation or different in culture or different in theology. I have that ability to relate to different people. I've been able to work with the JPD and the UUANs and help clarify those statements in the Capital Interweave brochure that's out in DC.
One of the hardest things about policy governance is finding the right people to be on the board of a policy governance board. And I don't know how many of you, I know some of you, Westchester is doing some policy governance work. I don't know about some of the other congregations here that are being represented. When you ask a nominating committee to look at who you want as a trustee on a policy governance board, it's very different from a board of other congregations sometimes, or even other nonprofits. You need someone who can vision, who can look at the big picture, who is not necessarily the person that's going to be doing the work. The work is being done by the staff. And that's very hard for some people to always understand. It's one of the things that we've worked through at the district level, and my own congregation. I was on the nominating committee at Wilmington several years ago when they started policy governance. And it's always hard sometimes to figure out how do you get those qualities that are different from a normal, a non-policy governance board.
Ditto, basically. I am with Ken on getting the relational work done. I think that's how you do things. You network. You also to work through the cultural barriers, the personal barriers to becoming multicultural, multi-generational. We have to find a way of being relational within UU culture, and then within the cultures that exist within UUism and within the communities that we want to be served by our faith. And I think governance is a big part of that, having the right type of governance for your structure, directing resources. I think the districts have a lot of resources to offer, so I agree with that point that we should get those resources out there, that we should work on governance models, that we should also be listening to and aware of the other models that are out there and acknowledging that certain things are more appropriate for some congregations versus others. And really, I support everything that I've heard so far. So and again, always impressed and always looking for the ways to get these good